Stop and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's SpeedFreaks, motorsports radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
You know, Freak Nation, I don't know what's going to be more disturbing tonight. The fact that my family will not stop texting me for the last 2 hours when the Longhorns got their butts kicked. The text began. I got that. Then I got Tyler Reddick with 13 freaking restarts with 2 laps to go because big-time multi-million-dollar drivers can't freaking drive a road course.
But they don't like each other. Remember that. They don't know how to drive, but they don't like each other.
Right. Disrespect. So it's going to be a hell of a show tonight, Freak Nation. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. The Freak Radio Network, 90-plus stations, almost 23 years of doing this thing. And, of course, MAV TV, happy to have the cameras here in the studio. MAV TV for 2 hours. And you're going to see NHRA Top Fuel winner Justin Ashley here in the Freak Nation. Trans Am winner Chris Dyson will be here. And a dude who I think had his best finish in Seattle in the 250 West class crasher, Pierce Brown. Was that his best finish this year to date?
It was 9th going into the weekend. I thought he got 9th last night. What did he get last night?
What was it, 9th?
I need to check.
Top 10 finish.
Top 10 finish. At least he tied it.
Right. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Plenty to talk about today's NASCAR Cup race. Plenty of things to talk about that happened over the past week. Kyle Busch says, man, there is just no respect inside the garages of the NASCAR Cup Series. Speaking of the NASCAR Cup Series, ratings for the first races of the first quarter, the ratings are down. But, Richie, if you put it into perspective, the ratings are down, but the ratings still beat the bejesus out of the other sports heads.
Yeah, this actually surprised me quite a bit when I was looking this up this week. And these are numbers courtesy of Showbiz Daily. I looked it up. They have every single televised sporting event on the record with Nielsen ratings, and it surprised me. So the NASCAR race last weekend at Atlanta, 3.4 million viewers. That was more than the World Baseball Classic quarterfinal, which drew 2.2 million. That was more than the PGA Tour event, the Valspar Championship, that got 2.5 million.
Wow.
That was more than every single televised regular season basketball game in the NBA. The highest rated was the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns, which drew 1.8 million. Higher than every single MLS game, higher than every single NHL game, and higher than the XFL. The only things that really beat it over the past week were about a dozen or so March Madness college basketball games. Other than that, NASCAR is looking pretty good. So that's a little perspective for you. So we complain about ratings being down, but every other major professional sports league in the United States of America would kill for 3+ million viewers on a weekly basis.
That man, how much of a concern is this for the NASCAR heads with these ratings being down for the first quarter of the NASCAR Cup Series?
Well, anytime the ratings are down, that's not a good thing. But I think we have to figure in, what about people that are watching on other devices or who go to sports bars or whatever they do that aren't covered by Nielsen ratings? So that's what we don't know. And they're doing a lot of effort to get those people to watch on other devices. So if they're having success at that, so is every other sport. And if they're having success at that, we don't know what these numbers mean. They're just numbers.
I'm sitting around a freaking park, Pecos Park in Phoenix, Arizona, Saturday afternoon on my Hulu app, watching a March Madness game because of my 9-year-old has Alabama winning her bracket. So that's a perfect example. I'm not sitting at home on my cable television. I'm on my phone watching 9-year-olds get jammed in a freaking slide while I'm watching Alabama get their ass kicked. So That's so true, Stat Man. Is it a measure of all those apps and streaming apps that we've got out there? Who knows?
Yeah, the streaming apps in addition. I mean, we have, a dozen streaming apps that pay attention to us.
Yeah.
So all of that is important. And everybody's saying, go, 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 go. And Nielsen is saying, hey, what about, your TV at home?
Well, didn't Nielsen put something out? It was pre-COVID about how their new technology was going to be able to factor all of these things in, but we have yet to see it.
Don't get Statman and I going about Nielsen and the particulars about Nielsen and how bogus Nielsen is at this point. But again, that doesn't punch a whole lot of tickets for you, Freak Nation. I know you want to talk a little bit of Austin and those freaking restarts. You just had a feeling that NASCAR's got something against Tyler Reddick, just one of the nicest cats on the planet. Let's throw another. What is going on here?
NASCAR can't control if drivers can't drive. I mean, these are guys going off in slippery conditions when they shouldn't be going off in those.
Hey, these are the best drivers in the world. That's what they tell us all the time. If they can't get through a left-hand turn, then while they turn left all the time, I don't know what to tell you. Most of the accidents were happening at turn one. That was an acute left turn, but hey, I'm with you, Crash. If they can't drive, they can't drive.
I want to get to this soundbite of Jenson Button. Well, it's not a soundbite. I'm reading his quote after the race. Jenson Button, of course, Formula One champion who took a seat this weekend in the Cup Series. And some folks thought he might do some damage. But Jenson Button, he says, it was an emotional roller coaster. First, it was terrible. I mean, I must have been last by the end of it. And I was just like, all right, everyone, go. I just need to drive and find a rhythm. I've never gone through a corner too wide so often and trying to place my car in the right place. I just got it wrong every time. Is that what your owner wants to hear?
Welcome to NASCAR, Mr. Formula One. Yeah. Welcome to NASCAR.
Yeah.
Well, they only have 20 cars on the Formula One grid. They have, 40 on the NASCAR grid. So you're never in the proper line. So you have to learn how to drive the car, Mr. Formula One champion. Who I picked and beat the freaks and left me. I won't say what I was holding.
Got some sad music, Stat Man, if you want to elaborate on your Jenson Button pick there. So looking at what happened in Austin, going back to the ratings fall for NASCAR for the first quarter of the season, not sure if this is going to be a ratings winner for them. There was some excitement during the race. The lack of stages for the race certainly was...
Well, lack of stage breaks. There were still stages.
Got it.
But the lack of break, which I've been screaming for years, because why mess with the rhythm of a race, especially if you're under green flag conditions and all of a sudden it's like, stage is over, so let's either come in and pit, and regardless, we're going to throw a yellow flag and just break up this momentum we just built up. I've never liked that idea. So today, I was a fan of not having breaks for the stages. You don't need it. Just keep the race going and just say, by the way, we're done with stage one, or by the way, we're done with stage two. That's all you need to do.
Richie, you put it out on Twitter at SpeedFreaks, which, by the way, be sure you follow us on Twitter at SpeedFreaks and official SpeedFreaks on Instagram. You put it out on Twitter regarding the actual stops, the stage breaks. What was the response from the Twitter Freak Nation?
Most of the people that I saw replying to our tweet about stage breaks going away, they were very, very excited. They wanted them gone. They don't like them. I think most people in general, from everything I've seen on social media, especially over the past year, people are over throwing cautions at every stage. It's not good for competition because it's basically just a manufactured way to bunch up the field for no reason. And guess what? The racing's no better for it, that as we've seen through the first several months of the season. And for what it's worth, this race was looking like it was going to have a really exciting finish in the last 10 laps or so. We didn't know who was going to make it on fuel and who wasn't. And then all of a sudden, these last 10 laps, NASCAR was like, oh, man, we don't know what we're going to do here. Let's just start finding random debris on the racetrack and start throwing cautions galore. And so for the most part, SpeedFreaks Twitter most people were very happy to see him gone. They were gone all weekend throughout all 3 races in the NASCAR, all 3 NASCAR National Series, and they're going to be gone all season long at every road course. And thank goodness they're going to be gone, because I think the strategy is so much more interesting.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily random debris, though. It was, again, actual debris. But did you need to throw a full course caution for each time a piece of junk came off a car? I don't think so. Bottom line, guys, just drive. Stop running into each other.
Statman, you see it in Formula One where they won't go full course caution. One turn, they'll have, hey, slow the hell down.
Same with IndyCar, yeah.
With IndyCar, slow the hell down. Skipjack's over here in the weeds.
Yeah, and they also have a virtual safety car where everybody has to maintain their distance and drive at 40% and all that. You know, I kind of go along with that. You don't always need a full course yellow.
No, you don't need it, Freak Nation. Look, Justin Ashley, NHRA Top Fuel winner from the Arizona Nationals. The last time we're going to see, allegedly, the NHRA at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. He joins us this hour. Also coming up, Chris Dyson, one of the greatest drivers in a race car right now. Mm-hmm. Won the Trans Am race in Atlanta. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. And we'll go Supercrossing next hour. But coming up, this guy says this, and a lot of people go,
oh. Any sense of respect in the garage area between drivers at all. And that's where the problem lies, is nobody gives two about anybody else.
Yep, Cowboy speaks, and a lot of people listening.
Speed Freaks. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 mud terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two-Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two-Wheel Tuesday.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Freak Nation, now through the end of April, you can get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card from our friends at General Tire. Buy 4 qualifying tires from General Tire, and you'll get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card. For more information, go to speedfreaks.tv or go to generaltire.com for more information how you can get $70 back when you buy 4 qualifying tires from our friends at General Tire. Coming up in moments, Kyle Busch says there ain't no respect in the garage. We'll get to that. But first, Richie, give me a little background music. We got Crasher's Pit News and Notes brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Crasher?
Well, it was the last blast at the pass. NHRA race for what we all believe, like Kenny alluded to earlier, to be the final time at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, formerly, for those of you listening from afar, Firebird Raceway in Phoenix, Arizona. And no, there are no other drag strips in the entire Phoenix area. And it's a large area that could take the place of this one that's now going to become, condos and a shopping district. It's a sad story, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, let's get to the winners, at least in the top classes. Camry Caruso, her first ever Pro Stock win, as she takes the final Wally for the Pro Stock class. Robert Height was up against Ron Capps. Do you remember how the Funny Car Championship came down in Pomona at the finale last year? It was basically down to Ron Capps and Robert Height. So this was a little bit of a revenge. Robert Height on top for the last Wally ever and at the Desert Nationals. Justin Ashley. Hello, Lucas Oil Team Alliance. Justin Ashley, your final winner ever in the desert in Top Fuel with that Wally. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Justin Ashley coming up. Is he next segment, Kenny? Or is he in 2 segments?
He will be at 45 past the hour.
Straight from Victory Lane.
Bang.
I'm not super happy about Phoenix going away. We've seen, Richmond drag strip go away. Atlanta go away. Englishtown many years ago. It's just, Chicago's been on hold forever. Turns out Chicago is back on the schedule this year. I'm not a fan of this, guys. I'm sick and tired of drag strips that aren't just for drag racing. They bring about a ton of Friday night activity for local racers to get them off the streets and onto the strip. Your thoughts on Phoenix going away? I'm not happy.
Listen, when they build these tracks, we saw it with E-Town. We've seen it with a number, and now, frankly, Ennis,
in Texas?
Which at one time was a day trip to get to an NHRA race. But now the encroachment of homes and businesses, I'm surprised Wild Horse Pass made it this long.
True. With
the development that's happening around these freaking tracks.
Statman, you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't believe the noise. I mean, I taught at a school right across the street from Pomona, and when you're in the classroom, I mean, I'm closer than the garage area. And inside of 2 walls, the noise too is deafening. So, yeah, it's a problem.
All right, Supercross raced. Yeah, well, so bye-bye Phoenix. Really sucks. Last blast at the pass. Supercross raced up in the Pacific Northwest, and both Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb had relatively junk starts, to put it nicely. But by the halfway point of the 450 main, they salvaged their disappointments. In the end, Tomac and Webb finished 1-2, with Justin Barsha vaulting up to 3rd place. So, yes, Eli Tomac with the win. Go ahead, Freak Nation, at me. At me all you want. Tell me why Eli Tomac should not be in the GOAT conversation of Supercross. His Seattle win puts him tied for number 2 on the list with 50 wins. Come on. He's in the GOAT conversation, period. In the 250s, it was Jet Lawrence yet again on the top of the box. RJ Hampshire 2nd, Cameron McAdoo 3rd. All right, NASCAR racing at COTA. We've been talking a little bit about this already, turning all sorts of left and right and really firing things up in Victory Lane. See what I did there. Zane Smith, he takes the win in the Truck Series, does a massive set of donuts, pulls into Victory Lane, and his truck catches on fire. So, yeah, that was just all sorts of crazy.
Greatness.
That was yesterday. That was earlier yesterday, Saturday. Next up was the Xfinity race. AJ Allmendinger outlasting not only a rough first half of his own, but also a charging William Byron at the end. Mad props to Freaks fave, AJ Allmendinger there. And speaking of Freaks faves, another one reigning supreme in the Cup Series today on Sunday. After 627 overtime restarts, Tyler Reddick upped his fifth place finish from last year to grab the number one spot, just dominating the turns. He had arguably the best braking of all the Cup drivers out there. And then he had pretty good speed in the straightaways as well to crush the competition. Very well done, Tyler Reddick and 2311 Racing. The Trans Am Series raced at Road Atlanta. Chris Dyson, a familiar face atop the podium for the Trans Am Top Class on Saturday. Check out newcomer Connor Zilisch. He won his first ever TA2 race today, Sunday. And talking to a few drivers behind the scenes, this is a guy to keep an eye on. Definitely keep your eye, your thoughts, your social media contacts with Connor Zilisch.
Keep your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I didn't mean really thoughts. I don't know why that came out of my mouth.
Thoughts,
keep your
baby.
eyes on. Come on, whatever. I'm saying, get to know Connor Zilisch, period.
Okay. Is that it for Pit News and
That's
Notes?
it for Pit News and Notes.
Holy smokes. How did that happen, man? I thought it was going to take the whole damn 15 minutes, Crasher. By the way, bottom of the hour, Justin Ashley, NHRA Top Fuel winner, will be here in the Freak Nation. 45 past the hour, your Statman Scat. Nitro Rallycross making the scat. Kyle Busch speaks, and most of the journalists listen. That's where we get this sound clip from Kyle Busch prior to COTA this weekend, talking about disrespect in the garage of the NASCAR Cup Series.
Any sense of respect in the garage area between drivers at all, and that's where the problem lies. Is nobody gives two about anybody else.
I'm sorry, no one gives two what?
Now, when he says disrespect,
Just don't get no respect at all. No respect.
Ooh, well done.
well, maybe 5% of our audience knew the Dangerfield reference from Statman there. When he says does he mean disrespect actually in the garage, or does that mean they carry it out to the racetrack? I mean, are they in the garage grabbing arse, as my football coach used to say? Where's the disrespect he's talking about?
I think he's referring to both. And the NASCAR Steves, I believe, Steve O'Donnell and others have said that they are witnessing this as well. It's not just on track. It's everywhere. And I would need to dig deeper personally and with people in the garage more often than we are to really get to the nitty gritty of where he's coming from with these thoughts, these statements. But yeah, I think it's just they ain't got no friends anymore. It used to be a buddy system. It used to be like we'd call it the good old boy system in the garage, but that's going away from what I understand.
Statman, is the money getting in the way? And I don't mean landslides of money. I mean just the fact that money is so much tighter now than it was during the Gilded Age, the golden age of NASCAR back in the 2000s, early 2000s.
No, it used to be us versus them.
Yeah.
And now the us versus them is my garage against your garage versus them. And that's kind of in all sports. Everybody is saying these young guys, they're worried about their own brand. They're not worried about becoming good at what they do, and football and basketball, stick and ball sports. So it's natural that NASCAR would have the same problems. Everybody's looking out for their own social media, their own brand, and anybody that beats them is, a danger to their brand. So there's no respect at all. No.
Let me go back to the clash back in February, and this is from Kyle Busch. Last year's show, he's talking about the clash. He's talking after the clash in February this year. He says, last year's show I felt was relatively clean and good racing, some bumping, some banging, but we could run long stretches of green flag actions, where today was what I would call a disaster, with a disrespect from everybody of just driving through each other and not just letting everything kind of work its way out.
All right. So a little on track, a little off track.
Correct.
Disrespect everywhere.
I just think that the amount of cake that these owners are fighting for has a lot to do with the issues that they have, not only in the garage, in their buses, but actually on the track, as we saw in the Clash earlier this year. We're going to see it in Bristol coming up.
Oh.
Is that next weekend or is that?
No, it's Easter weekend.
Right, Easter weekend. We're going to see it on the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
April 9th, yeah. Talk about lack of respect.
Your Statman Scat Rallycross, Nitro Rallycross, and Travis Pastrana. Some bonkers numbers from Travis. And Justin Ashley, NHRA Top Fuel winner, will be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner, will be here, which, by the way, you can catch the Trans Am Series Tuesday nights on MAV TV. And Supercross 250 West pilot Pierce Brown in the second hour. More Freaks coming up.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
As a trucker, you've seen every kind of road condition out there. One of the toughest is icy, freezing weather, which can thicken diesel fuel and plug system filters. That's why you need Lucas Anti-Gel Cold Weather Diesel Treatment. It prevents fuel gelling at extremely cold temperatures, lowers the cold filter plugging point of diesel and biodiesel fuels, and removes moisture from the entire fuel system. In turn, you get maximum performance and reliability. For more info, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Lucas Oil Studios, Freak Nation, Speed Freaks on a Sunday night. How you doing, man? The biggest freaking motorsports radio show on the planet, now on MAV TV. You may have missed the first 30 minutes of the show. If you did, go to our YouTube page or our Facebook page with Speed Freaks, or even MAV TV's Facebook page. We'll have the full 2 hours up there for you. But we join you in progress. Coming up this hour, Justin Ashley, NHRA Top Fuel winner, will be here in the Freak Nation. Coming up next hour, Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner from Atlanta. Dude's a badass. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. And we'll go Supercrossing with 250 West pilot Pierce Brown here in the Freak Nation. We had a whole 30-minute conversation about Kyle Busch. Disrespect.
Oh, we can get back to that.
Oh, we will. We might get back to it in about 15, 20 minutes. But what I want to do right now, I want to get in with our good friend Justin Ashley, flying those Lucas Oil colors. A big freaking race win for him in Atlanta, in Arizona, where he is the last Top Fuel winner ever in Arizona. Justin Ashley, again, flying those Lucas Oil colors, Top Fuel winner from Arizona here at Speed Freaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios. Forest Pass Motorsports Park. Did you ever carry that thought with you, or was this just another race to kick the butt of all the top fuelers?
Well, you try and make it like every other race, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't, right? There's only one. There he is. There's only one, and there's Jim Epler for you.
Yeah.
Right there. There's the man right here.
You knew that was going to happen.
Together, and this is what comes out of it.
Yeah, that's typical.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Last race at Arizona. No, it definitely played a factor. It was something we were thinking about because, well, first of all, this place is packed, so we hate to see it go. There must have been 30,000 people here today, but you always want to be the last, the one to win the last one. So our team did a great job. It was definitely on our mind for sure.
Justin Ashley joining us here on the Freak Nation. And you look at the field that Top Fuel has, and it's getting similar, frankly, to Pro Stock, where it's milliseconds that you guys are winning by and qualifying by. Would you rather win by a football field, or do you dig these close finishes?
I'd rather win by a football field, to be honest with you. But we'll take it, man. A win is a win, but it is like Pro Stock now. It's really kind of crazy because these cars have 11,000 horsepower. They're not supposed to be this close. They're not supposed to be this predictable, but iron sharpens iron, and we're all making each other better. So, you got cars running from 370 to 374 all day, and the starting line becomes that much more important. The teams become that much more important. So do the crew chiefs. So it really is kind of crazy. I'd love to win it by a football field, but a win is a win. As long as that win light comes on, we'll take it any way we can get it.
Justin, I like how you say these races with these top fuelers aren't supposed to be this predictable. Well, Phoenix was anything but predictable. Track conditions were awful to try to determine all weekend. How did you guys figure things out before others?
This is Mike Green. 1 second.
Right. It's just live television and live radio. Doesn't matter.
That's Mike.
Hey.
All right.
How about this
guy? They just asked me how we adjusted to the track conditions, as I have no idea. I don't know. Ask that guy. I don't know. I just.
How'd you do it? How'd you do it?
They take care of the rest, man. It was tricky. These guys did an amazing job.
All right, Justin, what does he have in that cup? What's the celebratory drink?
I don't know. For me, it's water and Gatorade, but I did have some cheese balls in the lobby over there in the media center, but I don't know. Who knows what they're drinking? They're drinking something. They're drinking that much, I can tell you.
Well, wait a minute. Are you a superstitious guy? Are cheese balls your go-to winning food every Sunday?
I'm not superstitious, maybe a little bit stitious. No, I think they're the go-to right now. They weren't before this, but we'll start a new tradition.
Yes, you will.
We're getting new names in Victory Circle and NHRA. That happened in NASCAR last year. Is that what's going to happen in NHRA this year?
I guess so, man. You never know what's going to happen at these NHRA events. You really don't. It's competition out there is so tough. Anything can happen every week. And I just know one thing, man. I love racing in front of these fans. This place was so crowded, Gainesville too. So, yeah, man, anything could happen. NASCAR or NHRA, it's a part of racing.
No, hold on. Let's talk about what you just touched on, because you said that the stands were packed in Gainesville. They were packed in Phoenix, sold out all 3 days in both venues. NASCAR is having a little bit of an issue right now with their TV ratings. You guys are not. So clearly the fans are relating to you guys a little bit better. How?
I don't know. Ask Glenn Cromwell, but whatever he's doing, it's working out pretty good. I'll tell you that. I respect the guys from NASCAR. Elin had a double up, by the way. We're in a communication. Camry won too. But I don't know. But honestly, it's great to see. I think it really speaks volumes to the sport. I think it helps. The Fox Sports and the Fox deal really is helpful. But, yeah, I mean, that is helpful. And then the fact that there's so many people in attendance, I guess, the sport is continually growing. It's growing in popularity. And it's great to see whatever the NHRA marketing department is doing. They're doing a great job of it.
What about your social media, Justin? That's what people want is your social media, and that's going to build the crowds. Are more people showing up outside your hauler because of your social media?
You're right, they are. Social media is so critically important. It really is for the fans, for the sponsors, for the team. But you're right. I've had so many people come up to me and say, hey, I saw this on social media, or hey, I follow you on social media. So social media definitely plays a really big factor in these crowds. It's a great point. And I think it's been a really, really effective way to get people out here.
Justin Ashley, your Top Fuel winner from the Arizona Nationals, joining us in Lucas Oil Studios. In a serious question, drivers, as you get into the summertime, talk about the pounds that they lose in the cockpit or waiting around. Did you lose weight today waiting to run in Arizona?
I might have. I feel like I got a weight off my shoulders after the final round. if that counts for something, yeah, it did. But yeah, I think so. It's always pretty hot. Thankfully, Impact keeps me nice and cozy and comfy. But it was a little bit of a cooler weekend, which is okay. Beautiful weather, 70s. But once you get in the summer, man, you probably drop like at least 5 pounds a race. It's unbelievable.
We'll end it with this, Justin.
Hold on, Kenny. Hence the cheese balls.
Oh, true.
Part of the diet.
Justin Ashley, we'll end it with this. Another serious question, but some people may not think it is coming out of my mouth. But do you meditate or do you talk to yourself? Do you get in a room by yourself before you get in that car or before you get in the tow vehicle to head to the lanes?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's necessarily meditation. I think it is maybe some form of meditation because it's just kind of taking a deep breath and relaxing and closing my eyes and kind of visualizing the outcome that I want. So, yeah, I think it's just a matter of staying relaxed and not getting too caught up in the moment and how big everything is, but just enjoying it and feeling lucky to be out here racing.
Justin Ashley, your NHRA Top Fuel winner, joining us here in the Freak Nation on the Freak Radio Network and, of course, MAV TV. MAV TV joining us in progress. You got us live here, man. We got to watch our P's and Q's. There are no 8-second delays.
What's this we stuff? It's you, Kenny. It's all you.
I know Statman's going to get angry at the fact that Ohio State didn't make it to March Madness and start dropping F-bombs all over the place.
That was weeks ago. All of our teams are out now. That was weeks ago.
And listen, can I say this about Justin Ashley? And Statman knows this. Crash knows it. We've been doing Speed Freaks for almost 23 years. Again, the largest motorsports radio show on the planet. NHRA funny car Top Fuel drivers, they may try and fool you that they don't party. They party. What are you talking about?
No, they do.
We've been in Victory Lane where they're handing us Coors Lights and Miller Lights, John Force.
Okay, we've been doing this show for 23 years, and Top Fuel and funny car drivers have been partying for 50 years. I'm just saying things have changed, though. Over our 23 years, we've noticed the changes. In the last 10 years especially, fitness has become a premium, and drinks have gone on the back burner.
What a buzzkill. What a buzzkill, Crasher.
I'm just saying. How many hospitalities were we in this weekend at the last Blast at the Pass in Phoenix where there were 0 beers? I even stood at the entrance of one and somebody came in with a Budweiser and the guy said, I'm sorry, we don't do beers in here anymore. I'm just saying things
What the
have changed.
hell is that? Where am I?
Things have changed.
Yeah, but they'll have 46 freaking processed hot dogs rolling around there. Which is worse, that man?
Cheese balls and processed hot dogs, potato chips. And, it's wow. But who was it that threw the party? It was at the end of the year, but they had a party that lasted into the night.
Del Worsham with the nitro margarita machine.
Okay, so that might be different because that's at the season finale and that's a Pomona.
Right.
But they planned for it all year long. Had a top fuel engine that made the margaritas. I mean, that's a serious party.
Yes, it's a top fuel. It's a nitro powered margarita. I forget what the Worshams call it, but yeah. Alexis DeJoria gave some of her tequila for that one fine year, and it was.
It's called S-Face for a week margarita machine.
That works.
That's what it's called. All right, Freak Nation, coming up, your Statman Scat Nitro Rallycross. We'll get back to that conversation about Kyle Busch talking about disrespect in NASCAR. Really? It's racing. Which is worse, ballet, gymnastics, or NASCAR? We'll get to that.
No respect at all.
No respect.
There's plenty of disrespect in the dancing
More
world,
freaks coming up.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in-home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. That's 800-569-5802.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined. Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio.
And I stumbled onto a Nitro Rallycross show on NBC Sports. It's truly a show that's aimed at a specific audience, like all good television programs. Nitro Rallycross is a dream of Travis Pastrana, who helped build himself and Nitro Circus into successful brands. Now he's pouring the same effort into Rallycross. Other attempts at American Rallycross have been smothered in greed, stupidity, and failure. They sold names and personalities instead of entertainment and, frankly, a good time. Nitro Rallycross has electric cars smashing into each other and the walls. There's dirt flying, drones zooming around. There's everything everywhere all at once. It's selling a good time to an audience. Travis knows how, because for the last 14 years, he sold tickets to a good time, and the audience has loved it at Nitro Circus. Not enough motorsports promoters have experience selling tickets these days. The only strange thing about the program was Travis was not in a Red Bull uniform. But I'll get used to that. Peace.
Your Statman Scat brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Go to lucasoil.com to check out the line of products to keep your rides. And I'm talking about all kinds of rides, your boat, your two-wheel, your four-wheel, that old jalopy you've been working on for 16 years. Go to lucasoil.com to keep you inside your engine, outside your engine, inside your car, outside your car, fat and happy. Go to lucasoil.com. And briefly, Statman, talking about your Scat, when it comes to Travis Pastrana, dude's been coming in the Freak Nation since he was 15 or 16 years old. And the stories that, again, could be told about Travis Pastrana, just the number one story about Travis Pastrana, he has the, how can I put it without not really bagging on other athletes? He has the ability, the rights, for all intents and purposes, to be an a-hole. You know, you got superstar NFL players or NBA players or Formula One pilots that are a-holes because they think they can be.
Or want to be superstars. Guys that aren't even superstars yet. Yeah. And Travis, I've told this story 1,000 times. He comes to autograph sessions 10 minutes early, stays 10 minutes late, and signs the last autograph for some 6-year-old who asks him, "Do you really like to ride your motorcycle?" And he'll sit there on one knee and get right down on the level with the kid and talk to him. Travis deserves every bit of success that he's worked for.
Suave, Richard C. Suave, of course, here in the Freak Nation. Richie, he punches the ticket for you. We were talking about the Daytona 500, which gave you yet another reason and those around you to watch the 500 because of Travis Pastrana. Not a reg on the series by any stretch.
Yeah, and I explained it then. I'll explain it now for a certain age group, and I will put that at, I am 32 years old, so I would say between the ages of about 27 and maybe like 36, 37, and that maybe 10 or 12-year age group.
Right.
Who grew up watching the X Games as a kid, and I grew up watching the X Games as a kid on ESPN in LA at the LA Coliseum, and watching Travis Pastrana backflip that bike like he did was one of the biggest things you'll ever see. It led SportsCenter when Travis Pastrana pulled up that double backflip for the first time at the X Games. That was your lead story on SportsCenter, and this was before social media really became popular. And imagine that, a X Games being the lead story on ESPN SportsCenter. That's how much Travis Pastrana meant to a lot of people. He's a big name for a reason for people my age, and he still does punch tickets. And I put a question out on @SpeedFreaks on Twitter, and I'm curious to see if anybody in our SpeedFreaks audience tunes in to watch Nitro Rallycross on a regular basis.
They better.
Because obviously people do. I don't have it in my ratings book that I looked up earlier, but it sounds like something, like you said, Statman, that a lot of people should tune in and watch, and maybe it's even a better product than we were talking about NASCAR and all the cautions. You don't get that in Nitro Rallycross, do you?
And the races only last a few laps, and you get a piece of what's going on. Only other people that I've known that have done huge success is Ryan Sage and Jim Lau, the guys who started Formula Drift. They're having their 20th anniversary this year.
Wow.
Started something that nobody knew about here in the United States, survived 2 worldwide recessions, and they're starting their 20th year this year with pure success. They know their audience, and they're going after that audience, and they don't care about anybody else. Rallycross, if it does that, Nitro Rallycross, if it does that, they'll have a huge success.
Listen, Formula Drift can have all the success they want. Nobody's done it. Almost 23 years. And we've survived more than recessions.
Okay, just for those who are unaware, that's Kenny doing a little pat on the back because our show is 23 years old. Okay, pat yourself on the back, mister.
What took you so damn long to get on MAV TV, Sarge? Well, talk about recessions.
1 station, 1 mic, 1 hour. There you go.
Hey, and speaking of going way back, Crasher, how old was Kyle Busch the first time you put a mic in his face in Las Vegas? Was he 15 at the time?
Ooh. He was under 18. I know that. So I don't know if it was 15, 16, or 17. No, it wasn't 15. I believe that's way too young. So no, I'm going to go with 17.
All right.
Yeah. We had James Stewart at 14 when he walked in the studio the first time?
We were Bubba James Stewart's first professional big boy interview.
Can I get to my Kyle Busch drop, please?
Go.
Kyle Busch ain't got no respect in that garage, man.
Sense of respect in the garage area between drivers at all. And that's where the problem lies, is nobody gives two about anybody else.
And this is the guy who complained about disrespect after the Clash this year, where frankly, he said last year's Clash is pretty much under control, but this year's Clash, just complete disrespect out there on the track with caution after caution. I don't know. I'm not in the garage. All I know is what I see on TV or what I see at the track. Crasher, I know that you saw where some other drivers, and Letarte frankly said, yes, there is disrespect coming from the garage out to the track.
The NASCAR brass is noticing it. They're not happy. Other drivers are noticing it. They're not happy. And it's spanning the demographic of drivers. It's not just the older veteran drivers that are saying, hey, there's a lack of respect out there, but it's some of the newer guys too saying, this is the NASCAR garage. This is what I looked forward to. So it's both on track and off track. I don't know exactly what is upsetting some of these drivers who have begun to bring this up. What is the key thing that they're saying is so disrespectful? If it's not what we see on the track, what is it inside the garage that's making you so upset? So we need to get down to the nitty-gritty in that, and I think that's going to be a topic all season.
Hey, Statman, here's something for you. Going back to Bristol last year with Chase Briscoe, right? Chase Briscoe's the one who punted Tyler Reddick. And going back to Statman, going back to Austin last year when it was Chastain who punted our good friend AJ Allmendinger. Is that the disrespect that they're talking about here?
I think it's flat disrespect and young people aren't giving their respect to the older drivers that the older drivers had to give to their older drivers. And the older drivers now, like Kyle Busch, are saying, hey, I had to do it, so you got to do it too. And all of it's, I think it's all just a waste of time.
Whoa.
What's a waste of time? Talking about disrespect or
No, the whole thing. That's something that's going on in the culture at large.
True.
This generation, that these kids just don't know what they're doing these days. I mean, every generation says that. New millennials, Richie, you've probably got a story or two about nobody giving you any respect. So, yeah, I mean, and all stick and ball sports, it's the same thing. Look at baseball, for crying out loud.
Are you saying that Kyle Busch is now at that age where, get off my lawn, get off my racetrack? Kyle Busch, the old man?
The old man of the sea, the old man of the track.
Get off my Coda. Get off my step, man. Drink some water, man. Get off my dirt Bristol, bro.
You can't say that in the middle of. You have me calling an ambulance, 911.
All right, Freak Nation, we're going to take a break, get back with the top of the hour. The Freak Radio Network will be with you in about 5 minutes. Coming up next hour, Chris Dyson and Supercross pilot Pierce Brown. All coming up. Speed Freaks Pits in the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Please hang up and try again.
Live on the Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. It's Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
All right. Second hour of the Freaks, Lucas Oil Studios. 23 years coming up in June, the biggest motorsports radio show on the planet. And we took the invitation happily to be on MAV TV. Thank you, radio affiliates, for sticking around with us, and MAV TV for housing us inside your TVs for the next hour here in the Freak Nation. Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner from Atlanta. He'll be here in the Freak Nation, which, by the way, you can catch the Trans Am series on MAV TV Tuesday nights. And his name is Pierce Brown, Supercross pilot running the 250 West Series. Got him a top 10er last night in Seattle. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Kyle Busch, he gets no respect. We talked about that in length last hour. Also, the ratings in NASCAR for the first quarter of the season, they're all down, but they're still kicking the butt of the NBA, Major League Baseball, and whatever the hell that WBC thing was, World Baseball Classic, where you got the USA and Japan playing for, I don't know, but all I know is your freaking top-notch right arm and left arm starters for a number of teams are freaking out because they decided to try and collect more money with that. Where am I going with this?
I don't know.
Must have been somebody. One of the Texas teams went down the tubes. And that's
Oh, that just happened. How many hours ago? Yeah, Kenny's a bit on edge.
I was thinking about this of the NASCAR Cup teams. Okay, Richie, here you go. Richie is our current events monster. Richie, we have a Final Four set in the NCAA. The Final Four teams are, Richie?
The Final Four teams are San Diego State University.
First time ever.
Mm-hmm.
The other teams are not my Arizona State Sun Devils. The Final Four teams include the University of Connecticut.
No,
which is coached.
Oh wait, yes, they beat Gonzaga. That's right.
Which is coached by Danny Hurley, the brother of Bobby Hurley, coach of Arizona State. The other Final Four teams include none of the number one overall seeds.
First time ever. Also, by the way, first time ever.
Miami.
I'm missing two teams:
Florida Atlantic,
Miami,
and Miami.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Florida. You're really good at basketball.
Yep. Okay, so who is the Florida? It's like going into Phoenix this year for the Cup race. Who's the Florida Atlantic? Who's the Miami? Who's the Yukon?
Well, Yukon would probably be Kevin Harvick.
This is the men's team, not the women's team.
Right. Yeah, but the men's team's been around in the grade 8, the Sweet 16 for a long time. I mean, it's a team that they're going to be good. Are they going to win the championship? You don't know, but that's like Kevin Harvick. He's always there. He's always
Who's
good.
the San Diego State? If you listen, you can't
San Diego State, if we were talking 2022, not 2023, and this year's finale at Phoenix,
right?
San Diego State would be Ross Chastain and going around. going around the track in which he just rubbed the wall to get to the win. No, actually, that would be Florida Atlantic because that's a 9 seed.
And we talked about this stat, man. Was it on last week's show about old guys like Richie and Statman?
Oh,
they. You want to see some blue bloods in there, don't you? Or is this a one-off deal where it's going to be cool? CBS is crapping their pants. The ratings are going to listen. There's number one seeds that were knocked. I don't need to get into a diatribe here, but you can't tell me that CBS is really stoked with what is about to happen. Same for NBC. What if you had 4, Michael McDowell and
did pretty well today, by the way, until he got spun out.
Okay. Well,
just saying.
You just go through a litany of drivers. It's like
right. It's like the back markers or the B teams or the C teams. Yes, that's who
last year we almost had that. We had 19 different winners. So we had a lot of people in there that were surprised.
In NASCAR.
In NASCAR. So it's kind of a change of the guard. The so-called blue bloods in the basketball, Duke and Carolina and Kentucky and Louisville and all the teams that always win all the time, they're home watching everybody this year. UConn is the closest to a blue blood that's in the thing. I mean, it's going to be a tough thing to sell on television because the last 5% where people, maybe people will watch just to see who's going to come out of this craziness.
I think so.
Statman has brought this up ad nauseum for the last 2 or 3 years, and he just mentioned the 19 different winners last year, how getting the newer names, the younger names onto the top of the podium. Is this what we're going to see? I know this isn't a freaking NBA or NCAA show, but is this
still relatable?
I understand that, but are there going to be transfer portals when it comes to the NASCAR Cup Series?
I was waiting for you to finish so I can ask that question. Yeah, wouldn't it be wild to have a transfer portal in NASCAR? So if Gibbs wanted to steal Kyle Larson from Hendrick, he could go in there and say, "Hey, I got some NIL money over here for you." So
it's kind of what happened with Tyler Reddick last year. I mean, mid-season he announced he's going to 23. Well, at the time it was going to be 2 years from then, but yeah, that was kind of a preview of a transfer portal.
But that's kind of what's happening in college basketball right now.
Right.
That you can have a different team from last year just by going out and re-recruiting guys and getting them to transfer from one school to another. It's like shirts and skins. Everybody goes to Chicago and chooses up sides, and that's how they have the tournament.
Ron Capps enters the transfer portal. Tony Stewart Racing bringing in Ron Capps for the Xfinity Series for 2024.
Oh, really? He's going to leave drag racing and go stock car run. Okay.
Joseph Newgarden leaving Penske Racing for Joe Gibbs Racing in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Okay.
You can go to Dale Coyne. That's where he could go. Go to Dale Coyne. No, they almost have. They have some of that in auto racing where guys buy their seats. They show up with a bag of money and said, "Hey, I want to race your car." And say, "Hey, I got a seat for you."
That's called IMSA and Formula One. A little bit of IndyCar.
Hey, one of the excuses for the NASCAR ratings, and I poo-pooed this initially, but I thought about this. One of the issues with the NASCAR ratings that a lot of people put out there was the fact that Chase Elliott is not in the series.
I was surprised to see this become a big argument on social media too. Why is one driver so important to an entire series fan base?
It's documented that when Dale Earnhardt Jr. was not in a race car, television sets, maybe some streaming apps did not go to that Cup race. When your favorite, the most popular driver in the NASCAR Cup Series is Chase Elliott. It was Dale Earnhardt. It's like, Texas is out of the Final Four. Am I going to make an extra effort to get home to watch San Diego State, Miami, UConn, and freaking FAU? No.
That just sounds crazy.
It does.
All right. So that with the basketball spin on it in the Final Four and lesser teams, that makes sense. But when it comes to, at least in my opinion, a series of 40 drivers on track at the same time, that one of those 40 can make that big of a difference. Like you don't have a second favorite or a third favorite driver. No, it just blows my mind that you're going to turn the entire race off, but you call yourself a race fan just because one guy isn't in his seat. To me, that doesn't add up.
No, I've had that a few years ago when I was doing video at the rally events. There were two guys fighting for the championship, tooth and nail, at the final event. And I asked a bunch of fans at the last event, who do you want to win? And they were saying Ken Block or Travis Pastrana, and neither one of them were even at the event. So, so the fans, some of the fans just don't know. I don't want to call them less than intelligent, but some fans they're fans. They're fanatical about one person or one team or one car. Used to be Ford and Chevy, and that's not the case anymore.
But they were still, there's Ken Block and Travis Pastrana fans were still there watching the event, even though they didn't know that their guys weren't in. At least they were still there.
Yeah, but that's not got nothing to do with the two guys, Antoine Lestage and Bill Bacon, who were fighting for the championship.
Look, John Force walks away from the NHRA. That's a huge hit. I mean, Chase Elliott, he's got one championship, voted the most popular driver for the last few years. Is it measurable? I don't know, but I poo-pooed it first.
He's only got one more than us.
Remember the joke when we started Speed Freaks? Guess what? We got as many championships as Mark Martin. Hey, come on.
And Rusty Wallace at the time.
Oh, man. Mark Martin has a championship.
All right, Crasher, we got a break. His name is Chris Dyson. Trans Am winner for Atlanta. From Atlanta. Dude's a badass. Probably top 5 driver right now in all series on the planet. He joins us next. SpeedFreaks Pits at Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
It's more than just a slogan. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. General Tire's Grabber X3 Mud Terrain tire offers aggressive styling and is engineered for durability with innovative performance features that are ready to carry you through extreme mud, dirt, and rock-covered terrain. For extreme traction that's ready for anything and rugged styling to match, look no further than the Grabber X3. General Tire delivers for whatever you do. Check out GeneralTire.com today. General Tire, aggressively styling the Speed Freaks since 2001.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Lucas Oil Studios, Freak Nation. His name is Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner from Atlanta. Dude's a freaking badass, man. You put him in a race car, you put him in a freaking crib with no wheels, he'll find a way to get it across the finish line first.
Yeah.
Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner for Atlanta, now in the Freak Nation, Lucas Oil Studios. Road Atlanta Trans Am winner again, Chris Dyson, joining us here in the Freak Nation. I'm losing track of race wins and championships. But Dyson, every time you roll in the Freak Nation, it means you're winning something. Road Atlanta, is that a track that you roll into and go, put your hands behind your head and go, I got this?
Man, I wish it was that easy, Kenny. It's that place. I'm telling you what, you got to respect it. It's high speed. You know, I love it. It elevates me just like all the big granddaddy tracks do. You know, I grew up racing at Lime Rock, so you know I'm not afraid of fast corners. Watkins Glen, you know, Road Atlanta, Mosport. You go to these places, they are just cathedrals of speed as far as road racing tracks go. You can never take your eyes off the marks. You got to hit all your spots. It's a rewarding place to make a lap, let alone 100 miles worth of them. I've had some great success there. I don't take any of it for granted, you know, and it's a treacherous place too. So to come out of there unscathed and with some wins under the belt, I'm pretty proud of the team this weekend.
Trans Am winner, which, by the way, you can see the race Tuesday night on MAV TV. Chris Dyson joining us here in the Freak Nation. And you know how teams take notes. I don't care if it's your engineer or the setup, regardless. But as a driver, the mental notes that you have going back to a track, do they come back to you? Or do you actually thumb through a notebook that gives you that old insight to Road Atlanta or other tracks you run on?
Well, it's a great question, Kenny. I'm enough of a veteran now that I could probably drive Road Atlanta blindfolded. I think Sebring's probably in the same boat. You know, we've done so many races there. You know, you do Petit Le Mans and you do the 12-hour races around these places. You just start to become one with the track. Having said that, it's still important to go back and look at your notes. We've got in-car videos now, so that's helpful. But yeah, after one or two laps, it's just like being home again.
You just referenced Sebring, Chris Dyson. Let's go Sebring, New Orleans, Road Atlanta. Where does Chris Dyson grade his season so far? It's got to be up there, but I know you're going to nitpick yourself in a few areas too. What grade do you give yourself right now?
Well, I mean, I have to say, I mean, I think as far as driving, I felt like I really started to slot in, during my race stint at NOLA. We've had a new car this year. The testing was frankly challenging. We didn't get as many miles in the off season as I would have liked. We had some problems, and I felt like I was a little bit on the back foot coming in. I feel better prepared physically than I have in probably a decade. And my trainer and I have been working really hard. I mean, we're hungry to stay up front, stay on top, and we know we've got some determined opposition. I only go off of my own performances, and I felt like at Sebring, I played it safe. I was a little conservative. I think we had a race-winning car. I was running my old car, and Matty Brabham was there. to help me along the way. And he ended up picking up the win when we had an engine problem. And then we got to NOLA, which is a track I'd never been to before. Really felt like, honestly, after second practice, I'm like, my gosh, I gotta really pull it out here. And dug really deep, had a tough qualifying. I said, look, if we can just get ourselves in contention, we've got a shot here. And thankfully, the race went our way. I felt like Road Atlanta was the first race where I really was able to put my signature on it and say, okay, that's the standard I like. And obviously coming out with the points lead, I feel really good now going back to Lime Rock and carrying on with the season.
Okay. Do you feel really good about the car setup moving forward as well? You said physically you're in the best shape you've been in over a decade, but the car, like you said, you referenced a little bit of some hiccups in Sebring, New Orleans, figuring it out here this weekend. Awesome. But is it going to be awesome again moving forward the next couple races?
I felt like we really dawned on some speed this weekend with the setup. I mean, I have to hand it to the Riley Technologies group. I mean, these guys have, Bob Riley specifically has forgotten more about Trans Am racing than a lot of people are ever going to learn. And it was just a question of marrying our experience, our knowledge, our expectations with the car they designed. And the best thing about having the old car still there as a benchmark with Matthew Brabham, who's doing an extremely good job, is that we've got a framework, and we've been really working hard. I've been in the shop with the guys. The guys have been really working hard collaboratively to try to give ourselves a balance that connects, that we can sustain the speed from, and we're not trying to manipulate the car. And this was the first weekend where, we went out the last practice session, we made a couple of changes, and all of a sudden the car was just there. And it was like a wave of euphoria to go out and just feel that and know that from that point on I was sitting on a rocket ship, and those are special weekends when that happens.
Chris Dyson, points leader, Trans Am winner at Road Atlanta this weekend. I was watching the stream Saturday, and they said, they said that you were pacing yourself because you were so far ahead of second place at one point, as Boris said. You weren't pacing yourself, were you? You were hammering that thing. You were building gaps and putting in faster laps each time.
You just, at Road Atlanta, you just can't back off, because when you do, you start to lose downforce, and the corners start to look and feel different. I mean, I think a lot of times you make mistakes if you take too much off your speed. You can get out of your zone, you can get distracted, and I've just got to be disciplined when we get out in front to just keep the hammer down and execute and hit those spots. It's monotonous, but when you're trying to explore the limits, it's really, really enjoyable. And look, the fact of the matter is, I had Matt Brabham right behind me. I had Boris Said behind him, Tommy Dreesy behind them. These guys are coming for me. If I have a yellow, I'm in trouble. I always remind myself of that. It is 100 miles the whole way. You can't take anything for granted with these cars. They are brutal, monstrous machines. You're on the edge. It's 100 miles of just complete focus.
You're still learning the car, aren't you? Even after 2 championships.
What?
And points.
What's a different car?
You're still learning the brutality as opposed to the nuance of IMSA. You're still learning the brutality of a Trans Am car.
Well, Bill, these things are the most powerful cars racing in the world. They are, we're pushing 900 horsepower. Think about that. We've got no traction control. I don't have downforce to stick the car. I mean, frankly, I don't think there's enough downforce in the world to put these Pirellis on the ground to the point where I am not involved. And that is a unique challenge of Trans Am racing. I think it always has been. It's one of the reasons why I think the drivers who do it, the past champions, race winners, keep coming back. It's because these cars demand a lot from us. And the fact we've got a new car is exciting. You can't stand still. There's some new content, new cars coming along, great teams in the series. And you just can't sit still. So we pushed ourselves. We could have played it safe but we made a step up with the new machinery. You know, not that you've got to keep it interesting. I mean, with that kind of horsepower and speed, but it's always good to have a technical challenge. And I like the fact that the team working with the manufacturers can actually innovate. You know, it plays to our team's strength, but I think it's one of those, you know, that we've got a completely homogenized, you know, ever more restrictive rules environment across the board in road racing. This is one of the last shows where you can go out and hot rod. And I think my guys, I put them up against anybody, and, you know, we enjoy it. And that's, you know, there's always going to be learning as long as there's interesting things to go get. And when there's speed defined, you know, we're all going to be on the hunt for it.
Chris Dyson, Trans Am winner, joining us here in the Freak Nation. Before we get the hell out of here, looks like you're sitting in a big-ass home studio. I see one row of seats behind you. You're sitting in your freaking easy chair, chilling.
It's a theater.
Well, you know, I mean, look, where else am I going to watch Freak Nation than on the big screen here, guys? You know, so this is a nice little cozy room here. You know, and we can enjoy the 500 and any other, you know, movies here. We're big movie buffs, so the kids love it. It's the one place I can be right now where we're not getting interrupted by a bunch of little ones running around.
Hey, Dyson, man, it's always awesome when you roll in the Freak Nation. Keep kicking ass.
Anytime, guys. Looking forward to the next one.
It is freaking studio.
I want a tour.
Badass.
I want to be in that theater.
You know,
it's plush, very seats
in New York.
Yeah. All right, Freak Nation, coming up, Pierce Brown, big-time Supercross pilot, and Statman Scat, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas fuel treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers' rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
As a trucker, you've seen every kind of road condition out there. One of the toughest is icy, freezing weather, which can thicken diesel fuel and plug system filters. That's why you need Lucas Anti-Gel Cold Weather Diesel Treatment. It prevents fuel gelling at extremely cold temperatures, lowers the cold filter plugging point of diesel and biodiesel fuels, and removes moisture from the entire fuel system. In turn, you get maximum performance and reliability. For more info, visit lucasoil.com. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
This afternoon, I stumbled onto a Nitro Rallycross show on NBC Sports. It's truly a show that's aimed at a specific audience, like all good television programs. Nitro Rallycross is a dream of Travis Pastrana, who helped build himself and Nitro Circus into successful brands. Now he's pouring the same effort into Rallycross. Other attempts at American Rallycross have been smothered in greed, stupidity, and failure. They sold names and personalities instead of entertainment and, frankly, a good time. Nitro Rallycross has electric cars smashing into each other and the walls. There's dirt flying, drones zooming around. There's everything everywhere all at once. It's selling a good time to an audience. Travis knows how, because for the last 14 years, he sold tickets to a good time, and the audience has loved it at Nitro Circus. Not enough motorsports promoters have experience selling tickets these days. The only strange thing about the program was Travis was not in a Red Bull uniform. But I'll get used to that. Peace.
Bam! Your Statman Scat, brought to you by our good friends at General Tire. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Getting into the spring months, summer months, make sure you have a new set of tires on that hot rod of yours. And right now, through the end of April, you can get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card if you buy 4 qualifying General Tires. Get it from GeneralTire.com. Go to GeneralTire.com to find out how you can get up to $70 back with a Visa prepaid card for qualifying tires from our friends at General Tire. Watching the broadcast today, the NASCAR Cup Series, and then again watching the NHRA broadcast with the Gator Nationals and tonight with the Arizona Nationals, I'm really proud of what these bigger series are doing. I like what IndyCar does with their announcers. They brought in Gunther Steiner with the Haas F1 team today. Aesthetically, and it didn't really kick me in the ass, but I just like what they're doing. Of course, with Clint Boyer in there and Kurt Busch, it just, again, Stat, Crash, Suave, it's just not your dad's motorsports of a bunch of guys that damn well knew how to watch their P's and Q's. It's men and women that they're not afraid to make a mistake on TV.
Yeah, and I think that some fans need to realize that you're watching something that is exciting, but at the same time, people are going to talk about it. At least it's moving into the point of people are going to talk about it as if they're sitting with you in their living rooms. Yeah. It's more and more going to that. And there are a lot of people complaining about Fox broadcasts with NASCAR, but I don't see where the complaints are coming from, because I'm liking what I'm seeing as well. Is NBC better than Fox when it comes to NASCAR? Again, that's opinions, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm really liking IndyCar brought a more personal slant to their first race coverage in St. Petersburg. We'll see what they do in Texas Motor Speedway next weekend. NHRA has brought in a really good personal slant as well. So again, it's going in the direction where we freaks at least have been wanting it to go for many, many years. You guys?
Well, I saw a thread last week where some people were taking off on Mike Joy, and I think Mike Joy is one of the best to ever do it. All you want that guy to do is just tell me who's winning and who's losing. The analysts are supposed to tell you why, and I have a big problem with it. I've mentioned before about analysts who say, "Man, look how fast that guy is going."
They're racing side by side. Well, no.
3 wide, I mean, come on. So, but Mike Joy is very good. He just tells me what's going on, and that's all I want to know.
What was the Mike Joy comment today? Hold on.
Oh, about parody.
Yes.
Now that's parody, unlike something like that. Now that's parody, unlike
Formula One.
Bang.
Right in the middle of the broadcast at Coda. Oh,
well, Avi, you being the residential millennial that you are, what's your take on the way the announcing's going with NHRA and IndyCar and the Cup Series?
I will say the thing about the NASCAR broadcasts in particular, and most motorsports especially, is that when you get drivers into the booth, they do a terrific job as opposed to most professional sports, and you stick some rando right off the field into the booth, Jason Witten. It's terrible. You get these drivers into the booth, right?
Some rando.
And they're great. They're terrific. Like Kurt Busch today, I thought was amazing.
Yes.
He was fun. He had cool things to say. And Crash, you and I both noticed the same thing at the end of the race. He got emotional at the end of the race talking about his former team. He drove the 45 last year, still part of 2311 Racing. And he got emotional talking about Tyler Reddick winning that race for multiple reasons. One of which is, I think it was a little like, man, I wish I was still in that car with that crew. And unfortunately got taken away from him because of his head injury. And having Kurt in that booth was awesome. And that made me perk my ears up hearing Kurt get emotional like he did. Because you do not get that in most other television broadcasts across the sports landscape. And I'm glad Kevin Harvick's coming aboard next year full-time with Fox. I think he's going to be a good addition. So I think we should be like thanking our lucky stars that we have the drivers that we do in most of these motorsports. James Hinchcliffe is the same way in IndyCar, where their personalities fit so well on television compared to every other professional sport where you put a guy in the booth and they're just, John Smoltz is the same way. Don't care. Boring as F.
Sleeper.
Yeah,
the best part about these guys is that they're just out of the car, so they know the current cars and the current drivers, as opposed to the guys who've been out of the car for 10 or 15 years. And, they may have a good personality, but they can't tell me anything about what's happening on the track because they don't know.
Yeah, and actually that was an issue with NASCAR booth members over the course of maybe 20, 25 years, in which you're right. A guy would be in the booth, a former driver, and I'm not going to drop any names. Y'all can just figure out who I'm talking about, a few of them. But they would be in the booth and they hadn't been in the cockpit for probably 20 years. So yeah, the relatability is gone. No,
boogity. Come on now.
Wait, what?
Oh my God.
Oh, you're putting words in my mouth.
Can we get Michael Waltrip off my television set?
Please.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Now, who's going to win a race between Michael Waltrip and Ralph Schumacher?
There's a lot of
there's another segment right there.
Yeah, let's just say this show in particular, not a fan of either one of those gentlemen.
We ain't afraid to say it, man.
No, not at all.
Now you mentioned Haas. I saw a story this week. Was it last week that Haas? He's still doing business with the Russians after all of the stuff that's not supposed to be happening. Yeah.
Ouch. Well, the driver's not there anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Nikita's gone. So
yeah, but he's still doing business with them, and
interesting.
Some of the businesses are nested inside of each other, so that it's like some of those Russian nesting dolls. Yeah, it was a huge story that they had, that they dug through all that stuff and found out that Gene Haas and he's doing business with the Russians.
Hold on. I'm going to try to bring this into a different realm now. He's still wanting to sell his Formula One team too, right?
No, I think that he would sell if he got the right number, but I haven't heard
Formula One's not going to force him to sell.
I haven't heard that anybody's forcing him to sell if he came up with the right money. I think that all of the money in motorsports is changing. Private equity firms are stepping in and are going to blow a lot of people out of the water. And I told someone in a conversation about 10 days ago that NASCAR is going to have to go that route at some point.
Oh, please no.
Look what Liberty Media did, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hence why Formula One has
changed the whole landscape.
Yep. Bang.
Wow.
Freak Nation, you don't want to miss this interview. One of your younger 250 riders in the West class ran in the East class last year. The Supercross running on the West class this year. Again, it's we all know who they're chasing in the 250 class, Crasher.
Hunter Lawrence, Jet Lawrence.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
The Lawrence
Jet,
brothers.
just move up, will you? But this dude, Pierce Brown, you want to miss this. It's a fun interview from their rental car. Coming up, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Dragging your knee at 100 miles per hour, doing a double jump with some extreme flair. If you're into two-wheel racing, make a standing date for Tuesday night on MAV TV. Two Wheel Tuesday will showcase the world's best motorcycle racers on the most challenging tracks. Whether it's the treacherous high-speed ballet of road racing or the handlebar-to-handlebar combat of the dirt arenas, MAV TV has your two-wheel fix every week on Two Wheel Tuesday.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in-home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. 800-569-5802. That's 800-569-5802.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Whether it's commuting to work, visiting a loved one, taking the kids where they need to go, going to the big game, or anywhere life takes you, Lucas Oil is committed to getting you there for all of life's important moments. Lucas Oil, it works.
Our team is on the Rubicon Trail today, running over 125 vehicles over one of the toughest trails in the world. With all the different modifications people can make for their Jeep 4x4, the only product that touches the ground is a tire. This is the team that you want testing your product.
I've been off-roading for 30 years now, and you definitely don't need anything bigger than 37-inch tires. Our founder, Mark Smith, drove from the tip of South America to the tip of North America on 31-inch tires.
The General Tire X Series meets our standards.
We have the ability for accelerated testing in all conditions: mud, rock, dirt.
We're out here this week highlighting the capability of the General Grabber X3 to see how this tire can perform in unbelievable conditions. It's incredible to watch General Tire deliver in this terrain.
General Tire delivers me to a fishing tournament, the outdoors, jeeping, whatever it is that you want to do. It's outdoor life is what it is.
You're listening to Speed Freaks Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Pierce Brown grabbed himself a top 10 last night in Seattle. Dude's a young little badass with a 250 running in the West Series. Ran in the East Series last year, now running in the West Series. Of course, chasing the Lawrence brothers in anything they do. But regardless, we caught up with him earlier from his rental car with his buds. Supercross 250 West pilot Pierce Brown now in the Lucas Oil Studios. Are you one of those dudes that like to run in the cold weather, or would you rather put it behind you and run in South Florida all day?
I mean, on paper, I should be used to the cold. I grew up in Salt Lake, and it wasn't much warmer than this. I dealt with a lot of snow and a lot of long drives to California just to get some laps in. But I've been in California and Florida back and forth for years now, so I feel like I'm more acclimated with that than the cold. So I come to the cold, and you'd think I'd be used to it, but I'm still a baby and try to do everything I can to get away from it.
Look, man, I was an athlete once, and I was a kicker. I was a barefoot kicker in high school, and I hated the cold. I hated slop. I hated rain. I mean, come on. But there are some riders out there that say, give me the mud, give me the slop. I want the buildup on the back tire. Yeah. Are you one of those guys that, listen, I'll run in the rain and kick your ass there?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I mean, whatever you throw at me, I'll deal with it and make the best out of it. So, it's looking like this weekend it might be a little wet. I know it's always soft in Seattle, so that's going to come into play. But yeah, I'm all for it. Whatever you have, throw it at me. I'll take it.
You know what, Pierce? It's been said numerous times how you guys, Supercross, motocross riders, are some of the best, if not the best, athletes in the entire world, pound for pound, inch for inch. But how do you balance those different dirt conditions? Because Kenny just brought up Florida. It's sandy and slick there, whereas you're up in the Pacific Northwest and it's sloppy and goopy. How do you balance that? And how can you train for one weekend in one condition and one weekend in the next condition?
It's good question. You just have to train your body for pretty much any condition. You need a lot of upper and lower body strength to maneuver the bike and put it wherever it needs to go. Because like you said, Florida, there's a lot of sand, and up north here, it's going to be pretty soft, might be a little muddy. So we'll see how it breaks down. But yeah, it's going to be one of those nights you got to be ready for whatever and kind of shoot from the hip. You can't really plan on anything. I mean, that's our sport, though. There's a lot of uncertainty in it. So but yeah, mainly just a lot of upper and lower body in the gym, and long bike rides, bunch of laps on the track, getting the reps in, and as a combination, it all comes together.
Can I just say, you are so chill. I mean, check you out. You're just like, dude, I got this. You're kicking back in your rental car. You look calm, cool, and collected. If I were a rider, I guess, you get used to the schedule. You get used to the tracks and all the different conditions. But man, I don't think I could be as chill as you are. It's amazing to watch.
I mean, yeah, have some experience on my under my belt, and if you're uptight every weekend, it's a long year and a long season. So
good point.
I mean, kind of learned just to roll with the punches, and it's our first race back in a couple weeks. I think we've had a good 5-6 weeks off, so it's gonna be fun. I know everyone's gonna come out swinging, and everyone's gonna be excited and all over the place. And my main goal is just to stay calm and do what I know how to do instead of override or overdo it.
You know what? You bring that up because you're in the 250 West class, last year 250 East. How hard is it to watch your competitors on the other coast, so to speak, go at it week after week when you just have to sit there and just be stuck in a training regimen?
Yeah, it's tough, especially for being on the couch as long as I was. It wasn't like I was hurt or anything. I was still riding, I was still training, but I was seeing all my buddies like Nate Thrasher go kill it, and I just like saw how good he was doing, and everybody else that is killing it on that coast. And I wanted to be out there and wanted to mix it up with the guys, just because it's hard watching from the couch. I'm one of those guys. I don't do well watching from the couch, so I definitely had to calm myself down a little bit during the week, just because it was a month long of just sitting down and watching on the couch. So but yeah, I'm ready to get going this weekend, and hopefully the fire built up is gonna equal a good result.
Pierce Brown, Supercross, when the fire builds up, do you have to worry about explosion? Don't you have to? You're kind of chill right now, but you've got to take that controlled energy and go out on the track. Is that a problem when you've been sitting on the couch, like you say, and watching everybody else go at it?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. We're going to be going from pretty much 0 to 100 in the next day. So it's easy to go overboard with it, and try too hard, explode. But that's just where you got to find that boundary and just turn it back just a little bit. And that just comes with experience. I've been the one to explode before, so I'm trying to learn from my mistakes and improve with that.
Is that part of the maturity of racing motorcycles? You don't have a cage around you. You don't have an extra 2 wheels to keep you upright. That's part of the maturity of knowing when you can go fast and when you have to more do the technical to get to the end of the race to have a chance to win, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it just all comes down to experience. You need to have the reps under your belt and the experience to know when you need to go 100 and then when you need to turn it back and just ride 80% and get that solid finish instead of trying too hard and crashing. And it's really all about the big picture, and that's what I've been able to learn within the last year and a half, I'd say.
You say able to learn within the last year and a half. However, you were a fan of Carmichael and I believe Villapoto, if I'm not mistaken. What did you learn, if anything, from then when you were younger? Or did you know that you were going to become this massively serious professional motorcycle racer that you didn't really learn much? You just enjoyed their riding.
No, that's funny you say that. Because I remember watching Stewart and Carmichael when I was younger, and in the back of my head, I was like, that would be sick to be one of those one day, or someone to ride to that capability one day. But I never knew in the back of my head that I would be where I'm at today. I didn't really I wasn't sitting on the couch with a notepad when I was like 7 watching the races. I just watched it because it was cool, and I rode dirt bikes. It was fun, and it just turned into something that it is today. And it's actually crazy because like I said, at 7 years old, I would have never thought I'd be where I am today.
you're in a car full of guys. I can see shoulders bent over.
Oh no!
All around that car, and they're either hiding or laughing or something. They're making plans for where they're going to go have lunch after this. Who are these guys?
That's funny. Yeah, so I'm with my trainer Will, and then my buddy Max Miller in the back. We just got back from the airport, and we're waiting for the semis to go park inside into the pits, and then we're gonna roll in with them, and then hopefully find some heat somewhere out here. It's cold, it's freaking cold, but yeah, we just got some lunch. We're chilling in the rental car.
Max, you can show your face, buddy.
Yeah, what if we ask one of them about this chill Pierce? They might say this chill is just a game. Tell us about Pierce, Mac. Is this chill just a facade, or is this somebody that is like this all the time?
No, he's pretty chill most of the time. I mean, we make sure to get him worked up here or there, give him a hard time and get him fired up at the track when we're riding. But he's pretty good at keeping it mellow and just rolling with the punches.
All right, so you're in the rental car. Will, Max, yourself, who's got the worst gas after lunch? I mean, who's hotboxing who in that car?
I don't know. I think Max is a little scared of us, so he hasn't really let his hair down yet. But I've been with Will long enough. He's definitely let his hair down. It's to his knees now. So I'm not gonna blow him out, but I can't
literally.
Yeah, I can't deny it either. I made him roll the windows down a couple times too.
Well, Pierce, I bet you didn't expect this when you rolled in the Freak Nation. Now go out there and win Seattle, damn it, and send me your freaking pants, Skippy, all right?
All right, I'll get you those pants. Thank you guys.
Yes, sorry, Jet.
Pierce Brown running in the 250 West class for 2023. Buddy, thanks for doing this, man.
Cool. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Stat man, shoot the juice to the moose and
cut it loose.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The biggest racing series in America is coming to your town. It's time to mark your calendar. Get ready for the wildest festival of speed in the Midwest. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Don't be on the outside looking in. Get your tickets now at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
General Tire was born more than 100 years ago, right here in America. We've spent the last century tackling every kind of road this country has to offer, and especially the places without roads. So you know that with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.